Welcome to Bible Logos. I'm Antoinette Adams, your broadcast host. I'm here today to bring to you part 2 of the message, It's Not Yours, #No Excuses. Please remember to like and share this message on social media with your friends and family. All right, here we go with part 2 of It's Not Yours, #No Excuses.
What I can give you is $90. And the person says, okay, I'll take it. Now in her mind, she was really thinking, I need $100 because I got to pay my car note. And so she does her, she takes care of the customers as they come, and she's doing what they do as a cashier. And when it's time to be paid, you tell her, go ahead, just take your $90 out of the till. It's okay. And so she takes $90 out of the till, and then she kind of looks in there and says, I sure did need $100. Here's 10 more dollars. They're not going to miss it. It's not going to make any difference to them. And she reaches in there and takes the extra $10. How would you feel? That wouldn't sit too well with you, right? Because even though you had the extra $10, at this point in time, what you had told her was that she could get 90, right? And so you would feel, as somebody puts it, all kind of ways if she went further and took $100 instead of the $90 that you'd authorized her to take. Isn't that right? So now let's say you were God. Let's say you were God. And as God, you created everything. And as God, everything that's been created belongs to you because you're God. And as God, you own everything. Let me get some spiritual support for what I'm just saying here as I build this message. The 24th number of the Psalms, verse 1 says, the earth is the Lord's and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. So not only does everything belong to God, but even you belong to God. All right now. Because it says not just the world, but even those who live in the world belong to God. The ones who are serving him belong to him. The ones who don't like him belong to him. The ones who are walking with him and living for him belong to him. The ones who've turned their backs on him still belong to him. Everything belongs to God. And now let's say that God left you to be a steward over that which belongs to him, a caretaker, a tender. And that God says, I'm going to transact business and money and revenues through you. And 90% of what passes through your hands is discretionary. And so you can use that to do things that need to be done, such as pay bills and transact business on your behalf. I want you to be able to hear from me. There will be times when I will direct you to take some funds and use them for a specific purpose for ministry, and I want you to hear from me because, after all, it belongs to me. Yes. It's not yours. Yes. All right? So even though I'm letting you be the caretaker, and I'm letting you be the tender, and I'm allowing you to be the manager, it belongs to me. But pretty much, I pretty much let you do what you want to do with it. But there's 10%. There's 10% that's not discretionary. There's 10% that's mine. And I've sanctified it. And I've delegated it as holy. It's holy unto me. It's sanctified. It's set aside specifically for what I intend for it to be done with. It's not something that you have a right to do what you feel needs to be done with it. You can't decide whether you're going to give it or not give it. You can't decide whether or not it should go here or there. You can't decide, well, I'm going to use it for the building fund instead, or I'm going to take it and go out and feed the poor instead, or I'm going to do other things instead, because that's not yours. That's mine. With the 90%, you can make those decisions. But with the 10%, that's mine, and you have no right to do anything with it except what I've instructed you to do. Everybody say that's the word. And let's say you left these possessions in the hands of men and women who you designated and delegated and assigned as the manager over all your stuff. And you gave those men and women the authority to do with the 90% whatever they see fit to do with the 90%. And you clearly instruct those men and women of God to take the 10% and bring it into the storehouse because it's designated as holy. What would you feel if they decided, I need this to pay my rent? Just like that man did who was the gardener. Or what if they decided, I need this to pay my car note? Just like that young lady did who was the cashier. You remember how you felt when you were the owner of the store that the girl stole money from the register? Remember how you felt when you were the owner of the home where the person was caring for your garden for you and they took extra money out of your cabinet? Remember how you felt some kind of way? Now, if you're now God and you've instructed people to take your tithe and do something with it, and they decide to do with it what they want to do with it, would you feel some kind of way? Come on, so put your hands together. Let's give God praise. Because we're teaching in here today. We're teaching. I believe that we'll do better if we know better. I believe we'll do better if we know better. I believe that we don't do what we don't know. But once we know, I believe we'll do better. And with respect to the tithe, look at somebody and tell them, it ain't yours. Come on, put your hands together and praise God. It doesn't belong to you. And there are no excuses with respect to the tithe. Now, let me shift for a minute and talk about some excuses that people have. Let me talk about some major, because there's some, people have a whole lot of excuses, but you can kind of funnel them all into a few areas. The biggest excuse that I hear is that I can't afford it. I would love to do this because I love the Lord. Pastor, you just don't know how much I love him. I love him with all my heart now, Pastor. But I can't afford it because, see, if I don't take God's tithe and use it to pay this bill, they're going to shut my gas off. Or if I don't take God's tithe and use it to pay my rent, they're going to evict me. Or if I don't take God's tithe and use it to go to the grocery store, I'm going to be hungry. So I can't afford it.
Welcome back. If you like what you've heard so far, tune in tomorrow for part 3 of the message, It's Not Yours, #No Excuses. Please remember to like and share this message with your friends and family. I'm Antoinette Adams, and I want you to remember that the sower sows the word, and therefore it is with the same measure you meet that it shall be measured unto you again.